What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Mikey's Action Figures channel. Today we're taking a look at my Kitbash of Dr. Curt Connors. I'm pretty proud of myself for this one. I'm going to share the recipe with you guys, let you know how I made them, and hopefully you guys could do the same. So we're going to check them out, see what's going on with this dude. Let's get it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mikey's Action Figures, and today we're taking a look at my Kitbash Dr. Connors. Now I like to say Kitbash, I don't like to say custom. I feel like a lot of people do the customs. It's like a lot more work than what I do. With Kitbashes, I just kind of take pieces apart, put pieces together. On this one, I did use synthetic dye, and I'll share like a picture of what that looks like. There's some people that are really good with changing a face sculpt and turning it into like an actor, or just changing the likeness or whatever it may be. So I just say Kitbash. When it comes to this Kitbash, there's a few figures you're gonna need, so we're gonna dive into it a little bit and share the recipe starting now. Alright, so as far as the recipe for this figure, very easy. A lot of these figures are not hard to get. The head sculpt is from the Hulk 2-pack. Now that one's just a little pricey just for a head sculpt. You might be able to find like fodder or people selling the Bruce Banner, and you could use that way. Or I did notice that this head sculpt that a lot of people have works the same. So let me go ahead and pop that off and then pop this head back on. So if you guys want to use this head sculpt and then, you know, probably like just buy some glasses, that's how it looks. But yeah, I noticed a lot of people were using this for like a Bruce Banner. But if you want to use that for your Dr. Curt Connors, that will work as well. But for me, I did buy that Hulk 2-pack. And when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I put the head on. I was like, damn, this works perfect. This is what I'm looking for. So for me personally, this is how I'm going to keep him. Now, as far as the rest of the body, we'll go into it bit by bit. Now, the upper missing arm sleeve, I took that from Ulysses Claw. I was able to get him for like 10 bucks fodder, so I've been using him for a bunch of pieces. I felt like that would work perfect. If you don't want to use the Ulysses Claw, then you could use J. Jonah Jameson, or you could use Loki with the Tesseract, because I think they both have that sleeve, but I just feel like the Ulysses Claw sleeve goes better with the white of like the jacket and the rest of the body. So that is where I got the sleeve from. Now the rest of the body, we'll go with the lab coat. The lab coat is from the Bruce Banner 2-pack, but you could also get this lab coat from the Mr. Fantastic on the retro card. I actually did make a Reed Richards Kitbash with that exact coat, but using a $10 suited body. I'm trying to think if there's any other figures with this lab coat. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking these are only two figures I've seen. So as far as his shirt and tie, that is the Mr. Negative Inner Demon 2-pack. It's a GameStop exclusive. However, most people just want the goons, so I've been able to get a few Mr. Negatives for like 10 to 15 bucks. The shirt is all black. I removed the tie, so I basically pulled the tie off, put it in the synthetic dye, and dyed it purple. So now he has a purple tie. Now, as far as his pants, one thing to point out, you'll see that some of the dye bled on here, and I'll explain what happened after we dive into the pants. Okay, so the bottom part, the pants are Mr. Knight pants, and the reason why I chose the Mr. Knight pants was a couple things. It worked better with the dye, and it also was pinless, and I just liked the feel of these a lot better. I felt like they look cooler too. They look like better pants, so I went with the Mr. Knights because they were white and they worked. I know the most recent figure they did is the Retro Rose figure from the Spider-Man wave. It has the same exact legs. So if you want to use him for fodder, you can do that as well. But these are the Mr. Knight legs. I did use the Mr. Negative legs, but I'll dive into why I chose Mr. Knight instead. But yeah, so these are the purple legs. The dye basically turned the whole parts purple. I even got the inners of the knees purple. You could see different shades, like because some parts of the plastic will make the shades a little bit different. So the knees look a little bit darker with the purple, and then the back of him looks a little bit lighter. Like these back parts look a little bit lighter. You can see the dye didn't go all the way through on some parts. Also, I dyed the tie purple as well, so you can see it got both the top and the bottom of the tie. So just to get a closer look, let me go ahead and take off his lab coat. Alright, so there is him without a lab coat, and these are a better view of the pants all around. So I used synthetic dye to dye the pants, and I basically just dumped the whole bottle in boiling water, and then you just let it sit. You let the pieces and parts sit in the boiling water until you feel like it's dyed completely. Now this is the synthetic dye that I used. I got this from Walmart. It was like $4. For some reason, when you're trying to dye pants, sometimes this particular piece won't dye fully. So, and the legs will dye within like 10-15 minutes of putting it in the dye. You have to leave this piece or whatever pieces aren't fully dyeing in the dye for like an hour and a half, maybe even longer. So I would just say it's kind of like soup. Just let it brew, keep mixing it, lift it up, see if it's actually fully dyeing, and just wait for it to just turn the color you want it to turn. One of the things I didn't know like a fool is that the dye, even at, like, because I didn't put it on right after, I waited like 3-4 hours and then put all of the pieces on. But one of the things I didn't notice is that the dye will still bleed. So I would basically leave it for like a day or like a day and a half and then put the coat on. But for me, all I have to do is take some acetone, and I'll take all this excess purple off. Oh yeah, real quick, I just wanted to show you guys some comparisons of like the purples. That's why I went with the Mr. Negative, because I felt like he was the only one with like a black shirt. And I was like, oh, the black shirt's gonna look nice. I was just gonna remove the tie, but I was like, you know what, let's keep it, let's make it purple. Felt like that was a nice touch. Then you got the purple legs. Obviously his purple's a little bit darker, but I mean, hey, for me it works. So let's get into these comparisons. Alright guys, comparison time. We're gonna start off with my Kitbash Peter Parker. So this is my Kitbash Peter Parker with Dr. Connors. And like I said, these are the J. Jonah Jameson arms. So as you can see, it's like a tanner color. It's not like the Ulysses Claw one. So like I said, I would go with the Ulysses Claw arms, just because I feel like the white just matches the lab coat better. But this is Peter Parker. Then we're going to go ahead and put my Kitbash Norman Osborn next to him. Looking really good. Then we're going to go ahead and put my Kitbash George Stacy. Because you know, you need a George Stacy to fight the lizard. So I heard you're the lizard, man. What's going on? So that is George Stacy. Then we got my PS4 Spider-Man Peter Parker next to Dr. Connors. And then finally, for comparison, as we've been kind of having them in comparison for the whole video, the lizard next to Dr. Connors. And I really wanted it to match this lizard. Now a part of me wants to buy the Walmart lizard so that I could try to put that lizard head on this guy. Maybe it'll fit better, but we'll see. But yeah, I really like this Kitbash, man. I like it a lot. Obviously I gotta acetone some of the purple off because of the paint rub, but I'll get that off and it should be fine. So for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, do the usual. I'm gonna put some nice cool little clips and then we'll end the video there. Alright you guys, so there you have it. That is it for my Dr. Connors Kitbash. I really like this figure, man. It's one of my favorite Kitbashes that I've ever done, and I hope a lot of people enjoy this recipe. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really did like this video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment your thoughts down below on this Kitbash. Until the next one, you guys, let's get it.
I told you fools, it's gonna be a good video.
Alright, so starting off with some comparisons. Let's check out Mother